See, two things are very clear. One, compared to Arvind Kejriwal, almost every non-Congress, non-BJP person is a non-event. If you look at it, they're all stagnating at little proportions of the vote. It is very clear that Arvind Kejriwal is news. Two, it's very strange that here is a man who's treated as a hypothesis, but this hypothesis is becoming more threatening than the fact of Modi. I think there's something fascinating here. The presence of Kejriwal is clear. What is not yet clear, and I think it's premature, is the amount of seats he'll gain. But I've got a feeling that the very promise of Kejriwal, in a way, is a guarantee of an interesting future for AAP.
Okay, the promise of Kejriwal could also be unraveling around us. And those figures, of course, will show up only as we conduct more opinion polls over the next 8 weeks. I want to tell our viewers that for the next 2 months, every week we'll put out one opinion poll which tracks one key battleground state, makes a national projection to check what the mood amongst voters at that point in time is. But the one figure, Dr. Harsh Vardhan, which would be most disconcerting from the BJP's perspective, is that in Delhi, see voters projecting that the Aam Aadmi Party could pick up 40% of the vote share and 5 seats out of the 7 seats. So these are seats that I'm sure BJP was hoping that they would win. The C voter projection is that it's actually the Aam Aadmi Party which is not just consolidating its seat share for Delhi but also building on it.
Rahul, I thoroughly disagree with this perception about Delhi, and you will see that he will not be able to retain even the 28% votes that he polled in the recent assembly elections, and he will not be able to win even one Lok Sabha seat in Delhi.
Okay, Ajit Sahi, you worked with C voter on this opinion poll. What's your big takeaway? What's the big message in your view that this opinion poll is sending out about the extent to which Kejriwal has been able to penetrate nationally?
I think the very clear takeaway is that the Congress party is in a great decline here and it cannot expect much in 2014. But at the same time, the BJP, which was expecting a big chunk of the anti-Congress vote to come to it, is now facing a real threat from Arvind Kejriwal and his Aam Aadmi Party, as they saw in Delhi just about a month and a half ago. I think Dr. Harsh Vardhan is either he's just being delusional, or he is just not willing to accept the truth. The fact is that in most of the constituencies, especially in this, if you look at the map of Delhi and color coded according to the victories, the assembly victories, you will find that the BJP has done well in the outlying areas of Delhi, but the Aam Aadmi Party has struck in the heart of Delhi, and that is where they are going to strike again in the Lok Sabha election. I think if not 5, then at least 3 or 4 seats will definitely swing in the way of the Aam Aadmi Party. I think what has happened in Delhi will have a bigger impact in Haryana, and I would tend to agree with Veer Sanghvi on the show that these figures are too early. It is too early to be talking about these figures. I think the Aam Aadmi Party is going to do far better than what our figures have shown this time. But remember, this is an opinion poll that has been done now when the elections are yet to be announced. We are more than a month away since from the announcement of the elections, and still about 2 to 3 months away from the actual balloting. So I think we will see a progress in favor of the Aam Aadmi Party as campaigning will go, unless they muck it up very badly. It is their battle to lose.
You're saying that over the next few weeks we'll actually see the numbers for the Aam Aadmi Party go up, but Veer Sanghvi, it could be completely the other way around. As they continue to resort to gimmickry instead of focusing on governance, people could say, hey, did we waste our vote by voting for these people? And the numbers could also start going down.
Yeah, no, I think they're in danger, my own view, of throwing it all away. The vote that went for Narendra Modi was a vote in favor of governance. It was a protest vote. From all the figures you got, including these, the Narendra Modi vote is held solid. The people who thought he was the most honest politician a year ago still think he's the most honest politician. It was the protest vote. People who were fed up of the Congress, wanted some kind of governance, and thought the Aam Aadmi Party could give it to them. That was going to propel the Aam Aadmi Party to power. What Kejriwal and the Aam Aadmi Party have done over the last week or so is suggest to people of India that they're not ready for governance. On the one hand, there is that absurd dharna that he staged outside Shinde's office, but there are other factors. The whole Somnath Bharati episode, I don't think suggests a degree of maturity. There's also, I think, and this is a problem we don't talk about enough, the fact that I don't think the Aam Aadmi Party can travel very far south to the Vindhyas. If you look at the leaders, whether they're called Somnath Bharti or Kejriwal or Yadav or Bhushan, they're all basically North Indians. As far as they're concerned, south of the Vindhyas is full of Kali people, as Kumar Vishwas would put it. How are they going to reach out to these people? How are they going to get their votes? So far, I think that's a real problem.
Okay, Madhu Kishwar is also now joining us. What this poll shows is that there's a high level of penetration, there's a high level of awareness, there's a high level of goodwill, and Arvind Kejriwal's rise has already eclipsed the national overall acceptability of leaders like Mayawati, Jayalalitha, Chandrababu Naidu, Mulayam Singh and Mamata Banerjee. That by itself in the last month and a half is a very big achievement, ma'am.